Good morning. Today we're talking about systems for solopreneurs. In case you don't know me, my name is Alan. I'm a solopreneur and angel investor. I've invested so far into over 30 private companies, either startups or scale-ups. And also I've launched 6 products of my own. 1 customer-facing product, 2 B2B SaaS solutions, 3 games, and today we're talking about my latest product released, a digital product called the Solopreneur operating system. Now, why would I release this system as a free product instead of charging money for it? Because I believe in creating value. Just like with this content, I believe in creating value for my audience and giving you as much as possible. So if you enjoyed that, let me know with a like on this video. It's a system for high achievers that are just starting out and they want to launch something of their own. But even when you start growing and become a full-on entrepreneur with your own employees, it's still a good way of how you can keep your own system separate from your business. One of the most common questions that I get regarding this is, why do you need a system? Well, you need systems in order to scale. A system will also help you progress faster and be more productive because organization is key and you cannot work well in a messy environment. Now, normally everyone has a different way of working and a single system cannot work for everyone. But you can take this system and use it for yourself, or you can at least take the ideas from it and build your own. Now, what is this system composed of? First part is a brain dump space where you can dump all of your mental notes. It's inspired by the book The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, which has this concept that you need to empty up your mind before you can start to become creative and really do the most important work. And that's why you can use this part of the system to record your daily brain dumps and the moods associated with each day, take mental notes of things that you're learning from videos or any other place, different thoughts that you have throughout the day on specific topics that you want to keep a note of, or even discussions with people or things that you have to remember about someone that you've just met. Those are just a few examples. The main idea is to have a space where you can dump everything all at once and then organize it later on when you have the time. The second part is a knowledge base, a space where you should record everything that you're learning in a structured way. This is different from noting down things because you need to take the notes and structure them in a way to make it organized so you can always come back to when you need that information. Here usually I get to common questions. Why write it down if I can just remember it? Because you will eventually forget. Our brain tends to forget information that we're not using that often. Just think about how much you've learned in school and how much you remember now. And another question here is, why write it down if I can just Google the answer again or just search on ChatGPT? It's easier and faster to search information in here rather than searching for an article that you've seen maybe 2 years ago. A lot of things are changing on the internet, so if you cannot control it, it's not guaranteed that you will find the same information again and be changed or deleted. Also, knowledge base can contain information that you won't find on the internet, things that you learn from experience, your own proprietary research. Having a written knowledge base also has the advantage of enabling you to share that information with the people that you work with, your clients, contractors, or employees eventually. And you can also use it to train your own models based on the information that only you know. What I consider the most important aspect is that it's a stackable way of building value, and it can become your most valuable asset as you gather more and more proprietary information. What you consider common knowledge can be worth thousands of dollars for the right person if they want to learn a specific topic quickly. This is the exact reason why consulting companies make millions of dollars and why people can get rich using only their knowledge. So just start writing down the topics that you're learning about and start gathering the information to build your knowledge base. The next space is the Idea Lab, a no judgment zone for everything that goes through your head and seems like a great idea. The most amazing ideas that we're going to have will come to us when we're relaxed or bored, and you need to have a system on hand in order to make sure that you write them down, track them, and see if they are actually that good. So whether you're taking a shower, eating something, or just laying around, write down all of the ideas that come in your mind and just don't judge them. Most people will tend to discard any ideas that come to their mind because they believe they are not worth anything or that they are not possible. Meanwhile, billion-dollar companies have been built exactly on those stupid ideas. Amazon seemed ridiculous at the time. Selling books on the internet, who would even use that? Artificial intelligence, that's just pure sci-fi. Or OpenAI said, well, not actually. So write down all of your ideas, no judgment. And because you will have all of your ideas written down in a single centralized location, you might even discover some patterns in them. like a passion for a specific topic, for example. The backlog space, a pretty known concept, especially in software development, where you can write down all of your tasks and reminders to free up your mind. This, I believe, is the first part of the system that I've created 5 years ago because I've had so much on my mind that I couldn't concentrate on anything. I was so overwhelmed by everything that I had to do at that time that it eventually led me to a burnout. And until I managed to write everything down and empty my head, I just couldn't get out of that state. So if you're the same, put everything down in the backlog and decide from there what you need to work on. Make sure to update the status of each task as you work on them, and especially when they are finished, so you can filter based on that and see as your backlog becomes smaller and smaller. It's a good habit when you're working with the backlog to set the priority of each task, because if everything is urgent, nothing is urgent. And also, as you're working to the task, you might determine that some of them can be delegated, outsourced, or that even some of them might not be that relevant for now. The project space is quite simple, but it can be as complicated as you want it to be. So once you decide to work on an idea, create a project. Project can have their own knowledge bases, dedicated spaces for different activities, or even its own task list, which you can share with other people working on the same project. You can make a project page as complicated as you want it to be, but if you see that it becomes too complex, I suggest that you move it to its own space. And also, as a best practice, try not to work on more than 2 projects at the same time, or else your productivity will drop significantly. And finally, the links and resources section, where you can store information that you access often. Company invoicing information, logos for a specific thing. For example, I like to store here a link to a financial independence calculator so I can come back from time and time and check on my progress. Now, before we wrap this video up, let me share with you a few quick tips on how to use this template. Review regularly the information that you have taken into your notes and move it to your knowledge base. Look at the broader picture of what's stored in your knowledge base and written in your notes. Maybe you can determine some patterns. Remember to connect your ideas to actions. Don't just write down ideas and forget about them. Also, take action and start working on them. And finally, keep it simple. That was the initial intention when building this system, to maximize the benefits while keeping the effort low. That has enabled me to stay consistent with my work, and I believe that every system that you build will need to be simple. Whether you decide to use this system or build your own based on it, the link is in the description. And I hope this information will help you in your journey as a solopreneur.